Had how many cruise trips have you taken, Christine?
What is it, 37, I believe?
That's a lot. 37 cruise lines, and mostly on Celebrity.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of talk about the excitement about the new Celebrity Edge, right?
Yes.
So, and you were excited too. So you booked it. Booked it. You took off after some delay. You decided to go on Hawaiian on Friday before last.
Right.
Fly over to Honolulu to Houston to Florida, to where was
To
the
Fort
port?
Lauderdale.
To Fort Lauderdale. And that's a no-brainer pretty much, especially for you. You're a million mile. One thing happened, though, that you did not expect, which is always like with flying. You never know what to expect. But you showed up expecting to get on your plane on Hawaiian Airlines, and what happened?
Well, so, Hawaiian is probably one of the top airlines that's most on time.
Yeah.
So we get there and we're like, why aren't we boarding? And then they're like, oh, well, your flight has been delayed. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
And they don't tell you why or anything.
they were really ambiguous. They were really dodging, and it was like, what's going on?
Well, this was Friday the 8th, and it was at the tail end of all those things from the airplanes that were grounded. But did you start wondering that backed things up, or there's no way of knowing,
Well,
right?
we didn't know because
Yeah.
they didn't give us information. Then they said, well, then the next flight, they're not sure what time it's coming in and what time it's taking off. And we're like, well, the way we booked our ticket on United, we did the Honolulu, Houston, and then Houston, Fort Lauderdale. So we booked our Hawaiian Air, Maui to Honolulu separately. And we gave us enough time that we would land in Honolulu
Well, you had
Airport.
about a 2-hour turnaround?
3.
Oh, 3 hours.
Yeah,
Lots,
and then we would have to get our bags at Hawaiian Air, and then we would have to check those bags in at
Right.
United.
Right, which is, folks, if you're planning a trip and a lot of people go through this, right? I mean, and you think, okay, I'll just fly over to Honolulu on a flight I know, like Hawaiian's pretty common, right? Because
Right.
they have so many flights. And this is something people need to remember. When you do that, your bags do not go automatically to another carrier. You can't book them to go on to United.
United will not
Yeah,
transfer.
United won't. So
No.
you have to, when you go over, go and get your
Physically
bags,
claim it.
claim your bags, and then take them over to Hawaiian, go through TSA again, and start from scratch, as if you were leaving from Honolulu from scratch, right?
So I mean, Shirley, my neighbor, and I that went on the cruise, I mean, we were running. I mean,
Well, you had 2 delays. You were like, what?
we're 2 delays. We finally told them, you need to put us on a flight because we
Yeah.
have a connection. And we told them what we had to do with our luggage, and they're like, oh. Anyway, so we literally ran out of the plane. People were really nice, let us go. We ran, claimed our bag, loaded it on a cart, ran to United
With your bags.
with our bag on a cart,
Oh, no.
checked it in, and luckily the TSA lines were not long. And then we had to go to the end to United. Mm-hmm. Huffing and puffing.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yes.
So you were in a sweat by that point.
Yes, we did make it. And
But it was a very close, at the 3-hour connection.
Right.
And that should be plenty. You were in a sweat, and you just made it.
Yes, and apparently there were some issues with the radar in Oahu. With
It was Oahu, not here.
No, it was Oahu,
Oh.
and yes, they did not say exactly what it was.
Well, I have to say, Christina, I've been very concerned about the fact that there's so much software and there's so many things that are technically created these days that could really, truly cause problems. And I'm just going to say my secret fear. I have no basis for this. But with all these planes that are so software motivated, I mean, what if someone were to hack into the system? What if someone was able to, there's so many people out there that can hack into anything. What if they were able to hack into the radar? What if they're able to hack into the Boeing 737 MAX 8? I mean, to me, it's the worst nightmare, and you hope that never happens. But when you have planes and all these planes and everything going by tech, and everyone's learning to hack into things. I think the Facebook site, when it went down,
Oh, yes.
was hacked. I mean, they wouldn't say that, but it's getting to that point where it's you got to pray. That's get the Travel Angel Handbook. You got to do a lot of prayers to fly these days. So then you finally got off. Okay, you got in
Yes.
to Florida, and
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
Okay, you stayed at your
Saturday.
Marriott, your go-to.
Spring Hill Suites Marriott, which we stayed there the year before, and we just love. The people are really nice, and we went to the same restaurant, Rustic Inn. It's over 50 years old, and they have a shuttle that comes to the hotel and picks you up, and they have the best seafood.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, they should, right? Right there, yeah.
So we did that, and then Sunday morning got up, had breakfast, and we took the shuttle. You know, it's a $10 from the airport to the cruise port, and arrived there, and lo and behold, it's a beautiful terminal where the
It's a new one they built for the Edge, right?
Yes, it's beautiful, and the one problem, there's no Wi-Fi, and there's no your phones don't work, and so as soon as you walk up, there's a woman with an iPad, and she wants your express pass, you know, to check in for the cruise. And luckily, I had taken a photo of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
I had it on my phone.
And folks, this is a good idea anytime you have downloaded and you go to your app and it's there. I mean, because I've had this happen. You think, I don't need to worry. I've got my boarding pass on my app. And then if you don't get Wi-Fi, you are screwed. So always take a picture of it. You know, always do. And then you have that. Because
Right.
I've had it happen 2 or 3 times to me.
Yes, so Shirley, luckily, she had hers printed. So she had to, you know, find her printed copy. And then with the iPad, they take your photo.
Right there. So you don't have to go to the
to
check-in.
the desk
You don't have
anymore.
the picture
no,
anymore.
No.
Okay.
So she takes the picture with the iPad, and then it goes through, and your key card comes out, and boom. I mean, it was incredibly efficient, except for the fact that
There's no Wi-Fi. How can you build a brand new building in this day and age and not have Wi-Fi connections? That's kind of mind-blowing to me. Because the first thing people do when they get to a place like that is they want, because they know it's hard to do that on board and expensive. So when you finally make it, you want to get your last minute stuff done right before you get on board the ship. So there's going to be a lot of people who are going to go there and freak when they don't get their Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm sure they need to work on that.
So the Edge looks different anyway than the regular celebrity ships?
No, not well. When you look at it from the outside, it's sleek because you don't have the balconies jutting out.
Oh, okay.
Remember the
Yeah,
infinite veranda?
Yeah.
So, you know, the traditional ships, you have a sliding glass door. If you have a balcony, you have a sliding glass door. You slide it open, and then you step out to your veranda.
Right.
Well, this one, you cannot step out.
So how does it work? You were in the Aqua class, which has the nice veranda and takes you to a lovely private restaurant that is just for Aqua class. called
Oh,
the Blue.
boy, wait till I tell you about
Okay,
Blue.
okay. So you went to your room. How big is the room about?
The room, I believe it's maybe about, 250,
Not that big.
260.
Yeah.
So just imagine, so you walk into your room and you don't have the sliding door. Okay. So it's just open all the way through, and then you have a little partition of glass where the sliding glass normally would be. Now, this partition of glass,
Is it half a room?
it's halfway. It comes up maybe to about your chest level or right below, and the glass moves up and down.
Huh.
So that's why they call it infinite veranda. So you have a button you press, and the glass comes down halfway. So your balcony, though, is enclosed within your
Well,
room.
why would you would never actually need to have that glass down, would you? I mean,
Oh
unless you're
yes,
freezing cold.
yes.
Oh, you would.
Because it's beautiful to get the fresh air.
No, I say you'd want it open all
Yeah.
the time. Yeah.
However, it's like hotel sliding glass doors. The moment you open even an inch,
Oh, the
air
sound.
conditioning goes
Oh
off
no!
in the cabin.
Oh no!
And it does get quite warm
Yeah.
in the Caribbean. So you have to deal with that. So
So you leave it closed if you
well,
want
so
air
then you
conditioning.
leave it open and you get the fresh air, and then it's like, oh, it's
Too
getting
hot.
warm. So then you have to put the glass up
Uh-huh.
so the AC will kick on.
So you sit out there? Is it comfortable to sit there more than it was when you have
Well-
the other sliding glass doors?
But no, because with the sliding glass door, you have a chase lounge
Mm-hmm.
normally, right? That you could lay.
Some or just sometimes two chairs. Yeah.
Or, well, this one, you just have a chair and a table in between.
Okay. And does it feel bigger because of the way it's set up?
No, not
It doesn't
really.
feel bigger?
In fact, because Shirley and I, we have the beds separated,
Uh-huh.
and the way the cabin is built, this space between our beds was 4 inches.
Oh my gosh. You can't
Five-
get out. You
five-
can't walk between there.
No, you can't walk
No.
between the beds
Yeah.
because it's made where they cannot put the bed further apart.
Oh.
So
Well, okay. Now all of a sudden, one of the big pluses is not so much of a big plus. This is one of the big selling points.
yeah, it is nice to look out where you don't have the sliding glass door,
Yeah.
dividing the window.
Yeah.
So it would be totally open,
Mm-hmm.
all the way across. So that was beautiful. And they thought, well, we're gonna install this mirror in the bathroom over the sink, and this mirror is not going to fog up when you take a shower because the mirror is heated in the bath.
Oh, okay.
Not really, because when you're standing in front of the sink and looking in the mirror, you feel this heat.
Oh no.
Heat emanating.
Oh no.
And at first we thought it was the overhead lamp. And then, in the evening you turn off the light and you have the little, night light,
Uh-huh.
in the bathroom, and then you'd go in there and it's still hot.
Oh, really?
And you actually, when you touch the mirror, put your hands on
Uh-huh.
it, it's hot.
Oh my.
So the good news is after your shower, it does not fog at all. However, it's built that you cannot turn off
no.
this function. And if you're standing in front of the mirror trying to put your makeup while you
start sweating.
literally sweating. And so, and I called the assistant hotel director, and I told him about this concern I had, and also the fact that it's running 24 hours,
Oh, yeah.
7 to heat this mirror. So it would be, so at home we have a toaster, right? It would be if I put the toaster, left it on 24 hours a day to toast my bread for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
No.
So tell me about Aqua Class.
Oh,
We got
okay.
about 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, Aqua Class, our favorite,
Our favorite blue restaurant.
BLU.
My favorite restaurant, yeah.
Well, it is quite lovely. It's larger, and the food, the service is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And, they have the large windows. Remember? The
Yeah.
windows, and you look out and you
Yeah.
see the ocean. Well, so we went into Blue the first evening, and I'm like, why are the curtains down?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
had
yeah.
curtains over the windows. And they said, because on the other side are the lifeboats.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, it's stupid. I mean, because that's what you loved about Blue. You did not like the other concierge level. Lumine, because it felt closed in.
Yes,
and blue was open.
Well, and now with those curtains, and they keep them closed all the time because to open and to see the lifeboats and people walking back and forth is very unattractive. So it makes it darker, and it's not that welcoming.
The wonderful feeling of the sunset that you have dinner and watch the sunset.
That was huge.
Oh, yeah.
It's really diminished the value of Aqua Class.
Oh, yeah.
So now the concept on the Edge, they have 4 main dining rooms, not one large one.
Right.
So they have 4 of them. Cyprus, Normandy, Cosmopolitan, and Tuscany. And they have basically the same menu. However, Tuscan will have a couple of Italian specialties, Cyprus Greek, and Normandy French, and Cosmopolitan, I'm not sure what. And guess what? They have lovely windows looking out to the ocean.
So you landed up going to that. You ended up using the other restaurant, didn't you?
No. We still had dinner at Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And
for the food and the service.
Yes. Yeah. And sadly, no library.
No library? Why? I love the libraries.
You know, I really feel Edge is made more towards the millennials, truly. And no paper. So everything is, you have a question, check the app. Remember crossword puzzles that they used to print out, Sudoku?
Oh, yeah.
No more. They're trying to cut down on paper.
Wow. So you don't get anything in your room about what's happening the next day.
Well, and so as far as the daily schedule that they would put on your bed, every night, well, we asked them to put 2 of them paper copies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because if not, you're looking at the daily schedule on your phone.
Right.
On your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll make you seasick.
Well, then there's the issue of the phone and the use of the phone as well, because of the cost of using your phone.
Well, no. So for the Celebrity app, for the Edge, it's included that you can get that coverage. I was
wondering about that.
Yeah, complimentary.
Now, you had something I hadn't seen before. Now, I, of course, was disappointed when I did the Celebrity on the trip I did to New Zealand and Australia. And I had recalled, that sometimes I'd get Wi-Fi in the past, but maybe everyone said, no, there's no way. I knew I'd gotten water years ago, and they said yes years ago. But now, of course, you get Wi-Fi, and you had something you encountered which I hadn't heard of before, which is there's Wi-Fi and then Wi-Fi Express, is it called?
Yes, there's an upgraded Wi-Fi that you pay more for that's a lot faster.
But it costs more.
It costs more.
So when you get the Wi-Fi package, that is not included. You get
very
depends
slow
which
Wi-Fi package you get,
unless you get the Express.
Yeah, because being a celebrity elite, we get 90 minutes of free Wi-Fi. Well, it's the slow Wi-Fi. And you asked me why didn't I send you pictures?
Yeah.
It was very slow.
Wow. So this is kind of interesting that they, you know what it sounds like, and this is kind of, I hate to say it, a sign of our times. This sounds like it was all set out and created by people who are tech people who didn't understand how people really, what they really like in cruises. It didn't sound like it was person tested enough, and it was too tech tested.
Yes, and majority of the people that we spoke to prefer the more traditional ship.
What about the areas that were supposed to have floating areas out where you can actually, the wings or whatever they're called?
Well, it's called the Magic Carpet. So it is a platform that can move up and down. Okay, so, and when you're on it, you feel like you're jutting out, over the ocean, and it's quite lovely. So Shirley and I decided to go there one afternoon and, check it out. And it was so windy. They didn't think if you're jutting out over the ocean and the ship is moving.
Yes.
The cushions were all over the place. I have a photo of my hair standing straight up, and It's you have to have a full glass of in your drink, because if it's halfway, it's going to blow over, or you got to hold on to it.
Wow. Wow, there's a lot of things they hadn't thought about in reality.
Yes, and
It
I
sounds
don't.
like it looked good on the piece of paper, but no, they don't use paper on a computer, but
Right.
it didn't work in reality.
And I don't think they came into the cabin and took a shower and used the mirror
Yeah.
and felt that heat. And another thing, I know, Cindy, you're going to think I'm crazy.
No, I mean, no,
Okay,
I know.
so you know the toilet.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have a lid, and the ships usually have the lid that, it goes down slowly, gently. Well, I guess they thought on the edge they didn't need to provide that. So that toilet cover, it'll slam if you... and I'm like, really? You couldn't spend the money to buy the lid that
Yeah.
will go down gently?
Wow. There's a lot of things. I noticed because there was a lot of sales on Celebrity, and they had the Edge at some really good prices.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of shocked when I looked at some of the prices coming up for May. It was May and June, really cheap. And I'm wondering if the word is out about this.
Well-
Because I thought, well, no one's going to be able to get on Celebrity Edge. It's going to be costing more.
Well, the entertainment, the live entertainment, the special entertainment, the shows were fabulous.
But they always have been. Celebrity does have good entertainment.
Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah,
And they have a kind of a new concept. They have this area called Eden, and they kind of have this show. It's called Revelation, and it's quite interesting. So you'll sit down, and then people will come in, and they'll be contortionists. They'll be kind of walking around.
Oh.
And it's then more and more people, and then it kind of becomes a interactive show.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's quite avant-garde. So
Is it like Cirque du Soleil feeling?
it's
a little
similar,
bit? Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah. Well, we got about 3 minutes. I mean, to me, this is kind of eye-opening, and I know how excited you were, and a lot of people I know about the new Celebrity Edge.
I'm excited. I'm excited, and I would go on again. I really would. I don't think aqua
You
class.
wouldn't do aqua class,
Why?
right? Why? Yeah, you might as well just go with the concierge level, right?
Or not even that.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't. Then you wouldn't have a balcony, right?
Well, if you call it a balcony.
This is pretty amazing stuff, really. No, and you know what? You know the differences because you've sailed a lot. But this is not what you would have imagined from reading about it. If you go to their website and you look at it, this is not at all what is kind of expressed. The reality is so different from what they were talking about and what they were promoting on their website with the Edge. I think the edge needs to be curved a little bit. I think need to curve the edge. There is a lot of people saying there that they're changing things for millennials, and that's all good and fine. But they have found that some of these ships, not just Celebrity, people are not liking some of the changes they've made for the millennials, and that actually they've had to pull back on what they were thinking. And I don't know why exactly, but it sounds to me like it just wasn't reality checked enough. That this could have been solved if they actually had checked to see what it's like if you're out there flying buttress out there, a flying carpet in the wind, right? Of course, when you stand out there and when you're on a cruise and out there on the top decks, it's always windy, right?
Yes, and even if they move it to a lower deck, it's still, the ship is moving. You've got wind, and everything was flying. Really?
So no one's going to spend time out there in that.
Well, the only time would be if there is like a very, very calm day and the ship is not moving.
If the ship's not moving. Yeah, if you're in port, it's a great place to stay. I can't believe they took the windows out of the Blue Restaurant. It's like, oh my gosh, what were they thinking?
Exactly. That's what I said. What were they thinking?
And then they have the other ones, unless they don't want people, they figured people won't matter. Maybe they'll go to the other restaurants instead. I don't know. But, I appreciate all your input on this, Christine. And it's pretty eye-opening. And I can see where this all could happen. But, if I was in celebrity management, I'd be concerned. And I would have to wonder on those original initial cruises if people went, I don't know about this.
Well, a lovely thing though, they have a lot of activities. One of them was Opus Masterclass, The Creative Process.
Oh, that's nice.
So we got to do some exercises for our brains, draw in the circle, and also writing a haiku.
Is this Jim Chemo West?
Aloha, Cindy.
Aloha. Let me just say aloha to my dear friend who's just finishing up here. Well, thank you for all your input, Christine.
You're welcome,
I always
Cindy.
love it. You're welcome to stay.